Oh, look at him with his little box. It's the Volus Adept. Let me show you how to play him. Because you don't need to be the support guy, okay? You don't need to just shadow your teammates and spam shield boost all day. I mean, who wants to spend the next 20 minutes just staring at their backsides, okay? You can go out, you can pull your own weight. I'm going to show you how to build stasis first. It's the same thing you do with the Asari. It's really probably the best way to build it. Go with stasis strength for your first evolution, so you're debuffing the enemy that are caught in it. Then go with recharge speed, because it has got a fairly lengthy recharge speed, and the Volus really don't have a capacity for weapons, so they're going to suffer even longer recharge speeds. And then for the final evolution, go with bubble. Okay, this gives you a bit more crowd control. You can capture more than one enemy on it, and you know, it stays on the battlefield, so enemies can waltz into it, and you can just really capitalize on that. Biotic orbs. Like I said, it's not about spamming shield boost, so let's do some damage. Alright guys, damage for the first evolution, damage for this next evolution. Final evolution, go with expose. Every orb that hits does deboost the enemy with 15%. So you hit an enemy with all three of those, they're taking 45% more damage. Okay, that's good for you and the team. There's some support for you. Now shield boost, okay? You do want shield boost on your Voluses, you really do, but it's for you rather than your team, okay? You need to be able to take care of yourself first if you want to have any chance of helping anybody else. So that's why you don't want impact radius. Go with shields. Increase the shields restored by 40%. If your team wants some of that, they need to get up close to you. Then go with regeneration. Okay, so this reduces the recharge speed of your shields by 20% for 12 seconds. That's really good. That means you're not going to have to spam shield boost. Okay, you're going to have a really good recharge speed on your shields as long as you're not taking any more damage. And there are always ways around it with the Volus, guys. I will show you in the gameplay. And then finally go with protection. Okay, that gives you like a sort of armor. It gives you a damage reduction. It's all good. This basically makes your Volus a lot tankier than you could ever hope to be without it. It does stack as well. Okay, so you can obviously, if you had more Volus, they could all like buff each other, but it doesn't go any higher than 90% damage reduction. That's just how the game works. Now for Volus training, we're a power class, guys, so go with damage and capacity and power damage. Mainly though, because we are going to be actually about bombing. You want the damage and capacity so that you can spam your powers, you can reduce the weight of your weapons, and basically the only other choice over power damage is actually shield boost, and you don't really need it. You don't. You're probably better off just hitting harder with your attacks. If there was like headshots or weapon damage in that slot in the 5th evolution there, I'd probably recommend it, but you know, it's not. And then you can put yourself 3 points in fitness so that an enemy doesn't kill you by just like sort of looking at you funny. Because I mean, look, we got 188 health. 625 barriers, okay? They only got a sneeze on us now, but you will actually feel the benefits of just having 3 points in fitness there. Now, for the weapon, I'm actually going to be rocking the Collector SMG. I got it at level 6, so it's going to work out really nice for me. I'm not bothering with the power magnifier on it because it's all about explosions. The power bonuses don't affect those. There's always going to be a base damage of them. So I'm really going to make sure I've got the right mods on here and go with the magazine upgrade. That is fundamental on this gun because it has no capacity whatsoever without it. And then you want the high velocity barrel because you're going to have no chance of taking down armor targets without that. Also, it's got really nice accuracy for an SMG. The Collector is really steady. It's got decent accuracy, so you don't have to get too close with this gun. It really does work quite nicely with this Volus Adept. And for equipment, okay, I'm going to be rocking fire ammo, incendiary rounds, because it's going to be about getting the best explosions I can. And then for the armor bonus, I'm going to be going with a power efficiency so that I can spam my powers and get those bombs out. Because the power amplifier is not going to make the explosions any stronger. So I just want to be able to do them more often. And, you know, our health's just too pitiful to bother wasting any kind of shield boosting equipment on it. And, you know, I'm going to increase what I just did with the armor bonus with my gear bonus here and go with the expert package. So that I've got the extra SMG damage and I've got more recharge speed again. It does keep stacking. It does, guys. Even though the Collector SMG is pretty light, we got a pretty good bonus there. It is, but we're still getting some more. You're going to need it. And then for your weapon bonus, obviously take the SMG rail lamp so we can do some more weapon damage. Now, let's get into the gameplay and show you how to play a Volus offensively. Here we go then, it's me and Dom with a couple of pugs doing an unknown Cerberus gold. I'll get into the reason why shortly. Dom's joining the cause here. He's going to Volus as well. He's playing the engineer, fantastic little character. But the pugs, they're bringing out the big guns. Okay, we've got a Puggernaut and a Turian Ghost Infiltrator with a Harrier. I think they're a little sick of what's been going on because I have been topping the scoreboard every time with this little guy. Nobody likes to be outscored by the Volus Adept, and it's because nobody really believes you can do anything with him apart from follow the team and spam shield boost, and it's rubbish. Nobody needs to do that, and no one should be doing that, okay? If you really want to help the team, you need to be making an impact on the scoreboard, guys. It's not about the points. The waves don't end until the enemy die, okay? All the other characters can survive without a Volus, okay? They do. They do it all the time. So why anyone would believe that that's what they need to come into the game and do is just maddening, okay? That can't be fun, guys. I mean, I get it that some of you like to play medic, but that's not medic, okay? That's just follow the leader. The Volus really are fantastic support characters at heart. That's what they are, really. They do a lot for the team. And you still do that, but you'll do more for the team if you're killing stuff too, okay? It's a horde mode situation. If you take out the horde, you help the game move along, okay? That's how it works. I mean, no one needs the extra survivability of the shield boost. It's just an added bonus. No one's going to complain if they get it, but you are just going to make the games longer because technically you've just become a dead weight. They're a man down with you just running around doing that, okay? There are definitely ways to play offensively with a Volus, with all the Volus, and I'm going to show you how to do it with the Volus Adept now. But what you do need to understand, and you're going to see me go down right now, but that's a surprise grenade, okay? There's nothing you can do to react to them. You need to know how to survive as a Volus, okay? The Volus do have a lot of little tricks up their sleeve, and survival's a really big point, because they have pitiful, I mean, just completely forgettable shields and barriers. So you need to make sure that you don't take a hit, because you cannot take a hit. What you need to know, and it's surprising just how many players don't, is that with just by meleeing, by pressing B to do his light melee, you cloak. Okay, it's not the tactical cloak, you don't get any kind of damage buff or anything, but you go invisible. If the enemy don't see you, they don't shoot you. It's that simple. I hope any you guys have seen the N7 Shadow video guide that I did, where I went into a lot of detail about the mechanics of cloaking and how you really get it to work, you know, efficiently for you. You really need to break the line of sight, or make sure the enemy never have a line of sight of you, and then cloak. And then basically you're never going to get any aggro, you're never going to get shot, and then as a Volus you're never going to die. That's how you do it, guys. And don't forget then, you do have shield boost, okay? It's a fantastic power, everyone loves shield boost. You, your team, everybody. And you need to work that with, with your cloaking, because as you can see there, I stayed visible for far too long. A Centurion spotted me, he took me out. But literally, all you got to do is try to break the line of sight, cloak, and then the enemy lose you, and then you just operate in the shadows for the entire game. Also, when you're charging to take on the enemy as well, you need to approach the battle invisible. The enemy you shouldn't let the enemy know that you're coming, so you can just literally catch them all by surprise. Don't get any kind of return fire, and if you do get any, slip out instantly, cloak again so they lose you, and then take a shield, and then shield boost yourself, get your shields back, okay? That's how you survive as a Volus, okay? You really need to be using the cloak whenever you can use the cloak. It is a bit unclear. It does have a recharge speed with no kind of clock on screen. So you need to use it wisely. Don't just go cloaking in a room that's clearly empty or void, or you go into an area that you know there's no enemies about, okay? Basically, you can hear what's going on, guys. There's noise all over the place. You know if you're starting to approach the enemy, you need to cloak before the enemy can get a clear sight of you, so that they never catch sight of you. But, you know, offensively, this is how you're going to do it, okay, guys? It's all about the biotic orbs, because his damage output is all going to be about bombs, okay? The Volus Adept, Volus in general, but especially the Volus Adept, just have a pitiful damage output, okay? It's really weak. The biotic orbs don't hit hard. His stasis doesn't do any real damage, and obviously shield boost is a purely defensive ability, okay? So, you know, you really are. The only way you're going to put out any damage with this guy is through explosion, so it's all about rocking the biotic orbs efficiently. You basically want to make sure you've always got them on you, guys. If you haven't got biotic orbs, get them back on you. It's that simple. Between waves, if I've got anything less than 3, the maximum I can carry, I will just throw the other 2 away and summon another new 3, so I'm ready to just jump into the next wave at full power. You really need to manage those quite well. It's only the summoning of the orbs that causes a recharge speed, okay? If once you've fired off your third orb, you can actually get your orbs back instantly right after that. So go ahead and do it. Never ever be without your orbs, because that's what because you need them for the detonations, and you need your detonations to have any kind of real damage output, okay? I'll get into. I'll get into more of that, but right now I want to just sort of talk to you about some of the troubles I've had with the game, because I'm sort of in this place here. It's why I've picked Cerberus, of course. We got Rio as well. I had really bad luck with Unknown, because Rio's a pretty crappy map for Volus because of all these railings about the place. It means I just can't get a clear shot of the enemy because we're so short. We can't see over them, but the enemy have got a clear sight all the time. So yeah, it gives the enemy a major advantage over us. Maps like this, where there's just a lot of like barriers in the way, it forces you to sort of run circles and laps around the map just to get the work done. And big open maps as well, then, where you can basically the enemy have got a clear shot on you wherever you are, because you can't cloak and avoid it all because they can see you from all angles. They're pretty tricky, and that's what I was getting a lot with this guy. I've been getting Rio, I've been getting London, I've been getting Condor. It's been a bit tricky, but really, what was all that was important is that I had Cerberus for this gameplay, to be honest, because what I also kept getting was the Reapers and Collectors. It's not that you can't beat them. In fact, it becomes a much simpler game, simply because you don't get to use stasis that often. You can't stasis armoured targets. So, you're just forced to set up fire explosions and bomb fire explosions. So, you just lose an element of the Volus. I really wanted to show you everything the Volus can do, so I needed to rock Cerberus or Geth, and frankly, I don't ever voluntarily pick Geth. Geth is something that happens, okay? They're a nuisance, a real pain in the ass. So there, this is why we got Cerberus, and Rio's just more bad luck, unfortunately. But let me show you how you start doing some real damage with this guy. It's with the orbs, guys. You can basically juggle biotic and fire explosions constantly within the game. Okay, any shielded or barriered target, you can basically just stasis, hit with an orb, fire explosion. Then you can just gun them down. Pretty much every Mook enemy is only going to require you to gun them for a little bit longer after they're bombed, and that's all over. You can ensure that they don't get back up by just putting a couple of clips into them and then bombing them again with an orb and getting a fire explosion. In fact, that's what you want to be doing with stuff like the Phantom. Okay, she's a sub boss. She's a bit tougher. You definitely don't want her getting her footing again. So, that's what I do recommend you do with a Phantom, is just biotic bomb her with stasis and the orbs, and then follow it up with a fire explosion after you shot her a little bit, while she's still grounded, basically. But all the other enemies, you can really just afford to just get the biotic explosion on and bomb. Obviously, the enemies like Pyros and Dragoons and stuff here, you just need to sort of shoot them, set them on fire, and hit them with a biotic, and get the biotic explosion there too, same with Brutes and all armor targets. That's the only thing you can do to them, okay? But it's really important that you get that, you manage your orbs like I told you earlier, because as I said, that's all that we already have. Unfortunately, a build like this, though, that's so reliant on using the orbs offensively, is actually a nightmare off host. These powers, where you've got something like spiraling around the character that can be fired off like a projectile, just really suffer off host. Any lag issue just makes them, they just don't happen. Like you can hammer that left button all day, and 5 minutes later you'll finally get it to actually send one of them off. This is not an off-host build at all, just because of the way the orbs are, unfortunately. Here, I got to give you that warning. I'll also warn you this as well. Because our damage output is I can't stress it enough. It is all about getting explosions. Okay, there's always a fixed damage output, so you're always going to benefit from just doing those explosions, because you're always going to get the full damage. But unfortunately, biotic orbs are really weak. They don't do a lot of damage, so they're not going to be a real killer for you. You might see it come up in the kill feed that you luckily managed to take an enemy down with the orbs, but it's because you've got the fire explosion in it as well, or the biotic explosion, or whatever. And because we've opted for trying to get explosions off as much as possible, we've got a lot of focus on our power damage, so we've got no weapon damage. So even when we're shooting with the SMG, we're not doing a lot of damage there either. So when you're trying to whittle down those big health bars like the Atlas, normally if you've got a team behind you, you don't need to take this. You don't need to do this. But when you're on your own here taking on a boss, here's a cool little trick. Actually, it's with the thermal clips. They have a hidden value to them that was added in one of the patches, where basically once you eat a thermal clip, you get like 100% damage increase for like 10 seconds. So yeah, do that when you're trying to whittle down like those atlases and stuff like that. Just eat a thermal clip, increase your damage, your weapon damage by doubling your weapon damage essentially, and obviously then you can throw in your orbs and get in by fire explosions and stuff too. And you're also weakening the enemy as you're hitting them, so you know you get that you can debuff them to about 45% while your weapon damage is doubled. So you know this is a really good way to do it. But remember, especially if you're going with the build I just showed you, you're going to be able to carry about 6 thermal clips, so use them wisely. It's really when you have to. You really need to get whittled down this big armor target, and you're on your own doing it. If you've got teammates shooting the enemy with you, don't use your thermal clip there, or you especially don't use it to take out mooks or anything like that, because you can just bomb the mooks. But you know it's literally big boss target, you need to get the damage out. Eat a thermal clip. There's a nice little trick there for you guys, and that works on everybody. But yeah, you also need to look at the Juggernaut. The Juggernaut's kicking off right now. I don't look at the scoreboard. I wait for the end and I'll see what happens then. But I'm guessing, he's still not keeping up. But look, this is a Phantom. Boom, biotic explosion, shot her in the head. Boom, with another orb, fire explosion. Yeah, Phantom is dead. You are a great Phantom killer. You really are. Little bomber, little bomber. But yeah, basically, what I've been telling you about, shooting, getting the fire explosions and stuff. You need to know how to use the Collector SMG. A lot of people don't, so I'm going to make sure that's clear as well. I mean, the Collector SMG is bogged down by this ridiculously small clip. I mean, it is unusable until you get it to like level 5, and only at level 6 does it become really kind of decent, to be frank. Just because there's not enough ammo in the clip for you to take out anything, to be perfectly honest. If you do use the Collector SMG, you really kind of want it on a guy that's who shoots powers frequently, like we're doing here, because that's going to break up. It's going to break up the gunfire and let the gun recharge, because that's what it is, guys. It's a recharging gun. It doesn't have ammo. You don't get ammo from ammo boxes. It just recharges, so you got to be wary about overheating it, because if you do, you are really kind of vulnerable for a long time there. What you want to make sure that you do, you always want that magazine upgrade on a Collector SMG, just so that it's usable, and you basically want to be breaking it up constantly with a lot of power attacks, and you never want to hold down the trigger. You never want to hold it down, because you will just rinse that clip in a second. Okay, you want to just do controlled quick bursts. Just keep pressing the button continuously. Never hold it down. Just tap 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 it, and you're basically, it's a much better way to manage the clip. That's how I recommend you go about doing it. And that's kind of how you're getting your damage out with this guy. I mean, I'll get more into why I picked the Collector SMG, because it has some really nice synergy with this character. But I want to talk about now, because right now you saw me do the objective there. The Volus are fantastic. I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but I'm going to tell you right now why the Volus are fantastic team players. Because you are so almost essential for getting objectives done really easily. Obviously, you can go ahead and do it yourself. You can just sort of pick up the object, or you can get in the upload and just shield boost yourself, keep yourself alive. But you can also just go to tag along with whoever's taking on the task and keep them alive. Just literally follow them along, shield boost them, especially in uploads as well. Just literally just stand in the upload, shield boost everyone so nobody goes down. And with the device, you've got somebody who's over there doing the device. You can run up, shield boost them, keep them alive that way. I mean, at the end of the day, you can, as long as if you keep everyone alive, the objective gets done quickly. And once the objective's done, then you can all just break out and then take out all the stragglers, and then you just get the game to flow much faster, and everyone's going to love you for it. I mean, you can also go and do devices yourself, because you've got the cloak, so you can just sort of cloak and rock the device that way. And you are a good medic, okay? And I mean a proper medic, not somebody that's just who's giving them shields when they don't bloody need them. I mean, if somebody goes down, you run up, you pick them up, and you shield boost them the moment they get up. Then they're back with full health and full shields. That's one of the biggest issues with reviving. You can get up, and then in an instant you can be taken back down again, because they don't have shields. But the Volus changes it for everyone. He can give them shields the moment they're back in the game, and people will love you for it. So, really great team support. You can do a lot for your team, but you can do more for your team if you do that with with a bit of murdering, to be honest, taking out the horde. People are going to thank you for that. It's just because you obviously, like I just said, you make the objectives go really smooth, and now you can just make every other wave go smooth as well by putting out this kind of damage, guys. That's what you absolutely want to do. Now then, he give you some of the weapon choices and stuff like that, because I am rocking the Collector SMG. Obviously, the Collector SMG works really nice with this guy. I mean, I don't have to worry about ammo. It synergizes really well with the fact that I'm spamming powers all the time, so I really don't have to, you know, it's just easy to manage it on this guy. It also allows me to rock stuff like the Expert package gear, so I can really pile on the recharge speed, because that's what you need. You really need to have a good recharge speed on this guy, because it's not about the damage we do with individual hits, it's about getting as many explosions out as possible. So that's, you know, and also SMGs have an incredible rate of fire. When you've got that kind of rate of fire, it's really efficient at priming targets with the kind of elemental ammo that you're rocking on it as well. So there's just all these really great benefits of having an SMG on him, and particularly the Collector SMG as well. Also, just remembered as well, the Collector SMG is one of the most accurate SMGs. Okay, so you can actually stay at quite a distance and still do really well. That was the Volus's heavy melee, even though the graphic didn't fully play out there. If you do his heavy melee, he brings out a little bubble, and that little bubble. It does actually do damage. Okay, that's the only time I really use it, to be honest, is because you can actually like do melee damage with it. It's pitiful melee damage, but it's always funny to see that a Volus meleeed something to death, especially like a brute or something. Get them to charge at you, and you just melee at the right time, you take them out. Other than that, though, it is a little protective bubble. I mean, you can take advantage of it for like blocking Bwnci warp balls or Atlas missiles, all that kind of good stuff. But really, you're going to be better off just sort of rolling out the way or taking cover. To be honest, it's really good if you were sort of caught off guard. You're out in the open, you've got no other options, just sort of put up your bubble and survive that way. But really, your best mode of survival is just rocking a light melee and getting that cloak on you constantly. But yeah, so you can keep your distance and stuff, do some nice damage. It all synergizes really well, the Collector SMG on this character, but any of the SMGs really will work. I mean, the Hurricane's fantastic. That's the best SMG, so you can do a lot more weapon damage with that in your hand. That's however going to force you to get a lot closer with the enemy. The Hornet as well, guys. I put the Hornet on there. That's quite fun. It works really well. I'm going to recommend you put on the recoil system and the high velocity barrel on that, because I think it's got a ton of kick. But the thing is, once you've got it stable, then because it's not a rapid fire, it's not like a fully automatic gun. You have to forgive me here. This Phantom randomly died from the shock of stasis. so I didn't realise I was trying to bomb her and she was already gone. I don't know what happened there. I guess I got lucky. But no. Because it's a burst fire gun rather than a fully automatic gun, you can actually just sort of land the headshots with the Hornet and do some really nice damage. I mean, headshots are easy when you've got stasis. You're going to have to put up with stasis nonsense like that, though, unfortunately. And like I'm telling you to stasis the Phantom, it goes with the Atlas in the background. So I find that stasis frequently just goes somewhere else to where I'm actually telling it to do. Not so frequently that it just breaks the power, but frequently enough for it to be annoying. But try not to worry too much, though. Just be prepared to deal with it. Although, even though I'm talking about the SMGs and stuff, the Talon would actually probably be the best choice for this build, to be honest. The reason I haven't done it myself is because I got the Talon on like 1 million different builds, and I just really don't want to overdo it. I want to vary my game a bit. But the Talon would be great on him, guys, because it's got the extra shield damage, barrier damage boost to it. And, you know, so you're going to strip the shields, you're going to prime the targets because all those pellets are going to hit. And plus it hits hard. It's a really good gun, so you're going to be doing a lot of damage to boss targets and stuff. So, yeah, Talon would be fantastic on this guy, but you could also rock like something like the Suppressor. If you saw the Asari update that I did with it, you'll see that the Suppressor just does unmatched headshot damage, and like I said, it's really easy to do headshots when you've got stasis. But would I bring this build to platinum? Because I know somebody's going to ask me that, and no, I wouldn't. No, I wouldn't. Well, to be honest, the build's not the problem. Okay, it's the gun. To be honest, because as I've mentioned, you can't stasis. You can't stasis armor targets. All bosses are armored. And so you're basically relying on weapon damage and fire explosions, essentially. So you really want to have to trade in, this power damage that I'm doing with the build at the moment, and get more focus on your weapon damage. Literally, just pick up a good gun, like the particle rifle. Okay, that's amazing for applying ammo, actually. And obviously, it's a really good gun. It would hit hard. And even Harrier, Lancer, Indra. Okay, that's a fully automatic sniper rifle. Let you keep some distance, stay safe, and stuff like that. You could just hit hard with the sniper rifles. And take the Black Widow, the Widow if you haven't got it, Valiant, even the Crusader. Okay, guys just stasis something and hit them with the Crusader, they're going down. That thing's more of a sniper rifle than a shotgun anyway. But that's what you'd have to do, because, you know... Because basically platinum is just big health bars, guys, and you need to be able to whittle them down. And this guy's, I mean, what you could take this exact build and just be the mook killer for your team. People are going to love you for taking care of the phantoms and the hunters and stuff like that. But if you really want to keep up, you need to be able to kill bosses, and to do that, you're going to have to really pick up a better gun and just do less bombs. To be honest, guys, I mean, you can you only need to get the biotic orbs out. So you can, and then you can get 3 explosions and weaken and stuff, and then you can just plow your ammo clip. So you probably find that's quite manageable. That's something you could do if you wanted to take this guy to platinum. But there's like a million other choices. But like I've said all the time, let's get into equipment because we're on extraction now, so we're about to wrap things up. I'm rocking incendiary ammo because it is just that's the best explosions you can get is fire explosions. Okay, they do damage over time. The ammo itself does damage over time when you hit, and obviously the explosion is hard hitting. It does extra damage to armor. Everything caught in it catches fire and then they get damaged. It's great. It's the best explosion you can really go for. But you know, you can go with cryo and get cryo explosions. The only thing is that it's always going to be less reliable because you need to freeze an enemy solid to get a cryo explosion, and there's only a chance. There's a rating or something, a freeze rating with cryo ammo, and unfortunately it's not 100%. So that's why that's going to be less reliable for you. But you can go with warp as well if you haven't got any elemental ammo, because that's going to just synergize well with stasis, so you can do a lot of weapon damage. I'm rocking power efficiency, so I can just get the bombs going as frequently as possible. But, you know, if you can go with the power ramp, just make your biotic orbs hit a little harder. You know, that's always a choice. I think you'll benefit more from the efficiency, which is why for my gear, I got the expert package. Okay, that's the SMG and, you know, recharge speed. You know, if you went with the Talon, you'd go with like the commando package and actually get the weapon and the power damage boost. But you probably would just be better off with going with just an SMG or pistol amp, so you can just really get the weapon damage. Because, like I said, the biotic orbs don't hit hard; they really don't. And structural ergonomics, actually, you know, they would be better choices because you can just get the recharge speed. But if you haven't got anything like that, because you're a new player and you just happened to have this equipment instead, go with something like adaptive war ramp or mental focusing, so your biotic orbs do hit harder. He's offensively weak, guys. He really is. You've got to work hard to get up on the scoreboard with this guy, but it's refreshing. That's why I like it. There's still a lot of character to him. It's still it's another way to play. I play this Volus, and even though I wouldn't say I think he's the worst Volus out of all of them. I don't play the mercenary because he has like no character whatsoever. He is just as good as the gun you put on him because he has no offensive abilities at all, really, to be perfectly honest. So you know, there's no character there, so I don't feel any need to pick him up. I mean, I can put the guns that would make him work on anybody and do the same thing. But the other Voluses, they're actually really good. The Engineer is actually a fantastic character, not just a fantastic Volus. And the Volus Vanguard has got some great potential too. I play both of those guys, so don't you worry. I'm going to show you how to rock the scoreboard with them all. But for now, please comment, rate, and subscribe this video because there's the Volus Adept. I'm Bwnci, and I'm out.
Oh my gosh! Touchdown!